HST 2016. This is interviews, music reviews, and more. This is The Hodder Show.
What is up, everybody? We are Rolling Audio here today on episode 353 of The Hodder Show. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Thank you so very much for tuning in and clicking that play button on today's episode of the podcast. I have what is surely to be one of the most unique episodes of The Hodder Show in the history and the future of this podcast. As today, we are diving into something I like to call Hodder's Gettin' Hitched. Because, well, in the 4 days, I will be getting married to the love of my life, my best friend, Sam Light. And because of this, I had myself a little bachelor party thrown by my best man, Garrett, and all my friends and family. And it was a hell of a time. So you may be asking yourself, TJ, what did you do at your bachelor party? Well, I feel like you guys probably know me well enough to know that, well, we podcasted for basically the whole time. Got drunk, podcasted, ate some food, shenanigans ensued. It was a hell of a time. So I had like 3-4 hours of stuff to shift through, and I have compiled what I believe as the best hour of content from that evening. Now, there are some moments where it's like a full-on normal podcast conversation. There are some moments that are just kind of clips that captured stuff that was happening in the background and all around, because it's not like we sat in the front of the microphones the whole time. We were kind of moving around the room and stuff. So I compiled what I feel is the best of that. And it features some very prominent past guests from the Hodder Show, much like, of course, Garrett, aka Dark Runner. Craft Woody makes multiple appearances from Mikes and Beers. Former producer Brandon Bowden makes quite a few appearances as well. We, of course, also have Douglas, who is my brother-in-law. We have my dad actually makes a few appearances, which was really fun to hear him in that element. 2027's Man of the Year, Adam Lintlop, makes some appearances. We also have my buddy Brandon Hibbs, who's never been on the show. He makes some appearances, as well as my buddy Justin. Nathan Miller makes some appearances. And of course, I also have about a 15 to 20 minute long conversation between myself and my father-in-law, Glenn. So that was really interesting because I didn't know how that was going to go, and it was a lot of fun. And he he's a wonderful guy and has a really fun story. And we kind of just cover a lot of ground, guys. This next hour is going to be some stuff about Sam and I's relationship, some wedding advice, just silly funny moments, some people asking me questions about the relationship and stuff like that, some really fun, touching moments, but also just some overall debauchery. So I will warn you now, there are definitely some moments that are not, for everybody. So just keep that in mind going forward. Basically, for the majority of this podcast, except for there's about 15, 20 minutes of a conversation between Glenn and I, and then there's like 5 minutes of a conversation between Adam and I. After that, for the majority of this podcast, I was absolutely hammered. So just keep that in mind, because there might be some moments where you're like, oh my stars. I mean, I don't think there's anything that bad, but let's just say the vulgarity in the jokes went pretty freely after the first 25 minutes or so of this podcast. So just keep that in mind. But I hope that you guys enjoy it as much as I did, just like I enjoyed last week's episode of the show, my chat with Tim Coleman from Septum Bone. That was just a ridiculously hilarious and fun podcast. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to check out Septum Bone. They deserve your support. And I hope that you enjoy this special presentation from the Hodder Show. Hodder's Gettin' Hitched, my bachelor party podcast. If you're able, sit down, crack a beer, and enjoy, because this is it is an interesting ride and a fun look at some of the good times and debauchery and wonderful moments that took place on that evening. Let's get into it.
Welcome to the Hodder Show.
Glenn, who is of course Sam's dad, my
Future
father-in-law.
right?
Yeah, we got Douglas here too.
Nice to meet you.
Garrett, obviously.
I'll be here all night.
Yeah, we'll be kicking around. I just wanted to say that real quick for the
So you have it on
for the
record.
for the thing there. I just wanted to say that I'm very thrilled to be not only marrying your daughter, but that I'm going to be part of the family.
That's right. I know years ago,
Uh-huh.
I had a little talk with you, and
Yes.
over the years, I'm pretty proud of you. You come a long way,
Well, I appreciate
you
that.
know. And Samantha, she said to me, "Yep, he's the guy." I said, "I like that."
It's cool. Do you remember that conversation we had when we were driving up to where did we go?
We were on the way to. She worked in a place called Cabin Animal Hospital.
Yep.
Bill, something like that.
Right.
So I said to DJ, I got something I'm gonna talk to you about. I said, "No, I'm the dad, and you got to respect the daughter. And no matter what, you're gonna be the man of the family. But if anything ever happens, then I step in. Other than that, you're the boss, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave it with you." And TJ, he was a little nervous that day, but I don't blame him.
A little nervous.
For the record, we all know that Sam is actually the man in the family.
I mean,
like Sam runs your life. Let's keep that clear. Actually, you told me about that conversation.
Yeah.
You were terrified.
I remember very
You were
vividly.
very nervous.
I was nervous because I wanted us to have a good relationship, which I'm very thankful that we have, you know.
Oh, definitely.
And it's like I can remember when you called me down to hey, what are you doing tomorrow? I gotta go for a drive and I gotta talk to you about something. I was like, I remember Sam was like, you don't have to do this. And I was like, I want to. And I can just remember you saying that to me, and then you said that, like, you know, my little girl seems quite smitten with you, so as long as you remember that, we'll be all right. And I said, I have nothing but good intention. You said good, and then we started talking about Owen Hart, and that was the end of it.
I started talking about wrestling after that, right?
Yeah. It's an easy way to the man's heart is wrestling.
Yeah,
Well, that was one of the ways.
And Sam.
That was good, right?
we got talking wrestling, and then what's funny too is after some time, then I can remember, and this is super random. I don't think we've ever really even talked about this, but Sam randomly came to me one day and was like, and she handed me this box. So, what the hell's this? And I opened it up, and it was that microphone, that Shure microphone. And I was like, where did your dad get this? And she said, well, he used to use it. And I was like, for what? Like, I didn't know that was your background, right?
I was the disc jockey years ago.
You were?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was what station?
What station?
So it was like at weddings and stuff.
Oh, that's okay, cool.
Weddings,
yeah.
anniversaries, right? And it
Did you
didn't matter what kind of crowd it was.
Did you have
I
a favorite
got
kind of
going.
stuff to play? Like, what was your favorite kind of music to play?
Well, back then it was 50s, 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. But I had a challenge.
Okay.
And I used to say to the man in the crowd, now we're going to see who the man is and who is not.
Oh.
Right? So I'm going to put a song on, and whoever can't keep up, you can leave the floor. Right?
I like it. I like it.
So I put on something easy like the twist. Right?
Something easy like the twist.
Kind of warm them up a little bit.
Because like in the 50s and 60s, the twist is like that was a lot. It was a big branch out music wise.
Yeah.
Like the rest of the sounds of that time, the twist is a little out there, right? Like
Yeah.
I love that song.
And then I got them going. Right?
Yeah.
Now I said, now that we're warmed up a little bit,
False sense
put
of
something
security.
a little bit better on. So then I put the stroke on. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right? And then from there I went into another faster song. Right?
Yep.
Meanwhile, the guys are taking off their jackets. Right? And
They're breaking a sweat.
because they're sweating.
Yeah.
And I said, I like this. Right? So we'll slow it down a little bit. Right? So then I put on By the Animals. Right?
Yep.
Number one song. What is it?
By the Animals in House of the Rising Sun.
House of the Rising
Yeah.
Sun. Congratulations. You win the door prize.
You win the door prize. What's the door prize, Glenn?
Okay? And I said
Door place to my own
move
place.
on. Just move on.
to say to the guys, whoever wins this dance gets free drinks the rest of the night.
Where were you my entire life?
Free drinks. Think about it,
I know.
right? But if you quit, you no longer get a drink.
How many people tapped out?
Everybody.
Everyone
Nobody won because
no one
they
ever
were
won?
so freaking tired. They actually had to sit down and drink. They couldn't stand it.
Gotta stay hydrated.
I'm just killing myself laughing, right?
I love that. That's good crowd interaction, though. There's a lot of, like, there's so many DJs out there that don't have a good audience interaction.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you get a couple up there, right?
Yeah.
And you say, I'm going to do a spot dance. And so they're dancing away, right? And she, you guys ready?
Yeah.
The first person up here with the woman's pantyhose wins.
Oh, geez.
Oh.
And so they're up there trying to take the dress off, legs off, and all of a sudden, the smartest one in the crowd carries a woman up over her shoulder. You're the winner. I didn't say anybody taking it off. Right?
It's just bring it to you. Here you go.
You got her. Yeah. But I had all kinds of tricks, all kinds of things.
How long did you do it for?
Oh, I say 10 years or better. There's a place in Whitby besides Country Lanes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure the name of it. I had to carry all my equipment. Back then, I used 45s LPs.
Okay.
As I got into it, I used to put on a CD or a DVD and a 45. And I had a contest. If you could tell me the difference of what was playing, you get a free drink.
Now, see, that's actually really
Like the quality of the audio.
Yeah.
The
What was
quality.
the difference?
From
right?
a CD to a 45 to a 33.
Yeah.
And so,
But it's sophisticated. I had dual turntables.
I was going to say,
which
to
were
have one that you
number
could swap like that would,
Right.
back then, that would have been a good piece of technology.
Oh, definitely.
I have a bit of a vinyl collection growing myself, and everyone always says, "Oh, it just sounds better." And it really depends on the speakers and the machine that's running the 33 or the 45. That you can definitely hear, and people that are more attuned to the audio quality of it can definitely tell the difference.
Well, that depends on your speakers. I had Nuance. Ever heard of Nuance?
Yeah, I've heard the name before.
Right. And they're from Whitby Audio.
Okay.
You go into a room there, and they put you in a room where you can't hear a fly drop on the window. It's
Soundproof.
soundproof.
Yeah.
But the best material for listening to. Right?
I used to love doing that, going to like Best Buy or like any of the future shops or something like that.
Yeah.
Me and my dad, whenever he would go to shop for the technology for this, like the speakers that he's put up in this room,
and sit in the room.
and you'd sit in the room. And it's like, okay, well, this is what this like when surround sound first started coming out, and it was like, this is with 2 front speakers on, but this is what it sounds like with all of them. And then even now, like you can buy like movie tickets, and like in your movie tickets, you can get like, was it the DVX seat or whatever, and they've got speakers like into the chair. So when you're going to go see a big movie on the big screen, like it's amazing sound. Sound quality is just huge.
Yeah.
I had 4 giant speakers with me all the time, right? 2 in the front.
Here's the real question: what did you
back.
drive?
What did I drive?
Because if you're hauling 4 speakers that big, getting them in and out of something.
Way back then, I had a vehicle. I wish I never got rid of it. Called can't even think of the name of it. It had a tent in the back of it,
Oh,
right? So it carried everything.
yeah.
But I did carry a lot of stuff in the PT Cruiser.
A PT Cruiser's got a big backseat. You could fit a lot because your S10, when we used to haul all our old music equipment, like your amp and your guitar cases and everything like that, you had it pretty easy because you just throw it all in the bed of the S10 and away you went.
Yeah, I had everything in there that could possibly be in there.
Yeah. But then
I had that thing freaking loaded up.
and then you got my dumbass with that. So that drum kit over there in the corner is about 50 years old that me and my dad worked on restoring. I got from my uncle when I was like 14.
Yeah.
But I used to drive a 2-door Honda Coupe.
Okay.
So not a whole lot of storage room, but I could fit that whole kit. And I remember showing up to like your dad's shop with like literally
remember
the
that.
car is just to the point of where I'm pretty sure I drove with the snare drum in my lap because there's just like there's no room. And then a friend of ours, Nathan, he drives a BMW. I don't know. He drives a nice car.
I haven't seen his car for a while.
Nathan drives a nice car, but he always shows up with like 8 guitar cases, a keyboard, like monitors that are huge speakers, like that.
The whole shebang.
There's always a whole thing about audio equipment, but then transporting audio equipment, that's a whole different story. BT Cruiser though, you would have had some space to work with for sure.
Oh, see, I made my own cabinet, and it had a lid on it. When you took it off, it had 2 dual speakers for your turntables, Then I had a mixer, right?
Yeah.
And back then I didn't have tapes or nothing like that, right? And years went by, I got some tapes, then I got some DVDs.
Yeah.
But I copied everything I had. Like all my music is all on reel to reel.
Yeah.
All, I mean, thousands and thousands of 45s.
Wow.
All #1 hits.
You still have all that?
I give it to my oldest daughter.
Oh, okay.
Saskatchewan,
Okay.
right?
So I should run me to show you later. That cabinet over there has a very similar setup my great grandfather built by hand, and it's got the speakers and it's got the turntables built in, and all the 45s and 33s are over there under there.
So I just plugged into it with my speaker.
Yeah, we can do that from the back. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's woodcrafting at its finest, and he built that himself. And we used to have parties and stuff here, and I would throw blankets over it because we wouldn't want it to get wrecked.
Oh yeah, back in the day,
Yeah.
we'd be putting drinks on it and stuff, and because it was over there.
Yeah.
Because I remember specifically the one night when your old man he came down, and I can't remember who was over here. I want to say it was Aldred, and he kind of was like, "Hey man, would you mind not being on this side?" And then he looked at me and he's like, "You know what this is?" I was like, "Yes, sir. Just look after it." I said, "I got it. I'll be the protector of it."
Because in the Newcastle house, it wasn't really a problem because we weren't really drinking or anything like that, and it had a very nice spot in the middle of the living room, like underneath the TV. There was above the fireplace. Mantle, a mantle above it, so like you couldn't really get access to it. And then in this house there's so much more design where everything's more open. So originally we were thinking that might go upstairs, but then once they decided to like finish the basement and work everything out, it was like, okay, it's quite obvious this has to go down here. But I'll say that they do not make cabinets like that anymore. Like to buy an entertainment center with like the speakers and stuff built into it, like the woodworking, unless you get someone to like hand make you something like that.
Yeah.
Like
You're not gonna get
chance.
it.
no.
No,
Yeah,
you're
see,
not.
mine was handmade
Yeah.
from a fellow that I knew in General Motors,
Okay.
right? And it had handles on each side where you could pick it up and take it. One person couldn't carry it, right?
Big ass speakers.
Big ass speaker system. You know, so when you were disc jockeying, aside from the obvious, like you mentioned, what was some of like the more like popular songs, and what was your all time favorite song to play? Was it what you were saying earlier, how you like doing that game?
Yeah, when I did that game,
That
well,
was your favorite, eh? Okay,
when you're a disc jockey, you got to get the mood of the people.
right.
I used to say, this is for lovers, right? And you put on Only the Wind. You probably never heard of that song.
Only the Wind.
Only the Wind.
Okay.
And that's words in the song. That's
Right.
not the name of the song.
Yeah.
And the other one was As the Years Went By on Chain Melody,
Of course.
Right,
That's
which is-
classic.
a popular song even up to today,
Oh yeah.
right? And then I had people come up to me, have you got any songs from the 40s? Oh yeah. You're kidding. I said, no, I'm a disc jockey. Whatever you want, I play. And I put a song on, and they were in the Army. And they had a certain song that they wanted, and I had it. And that got me my gig for the next dance. So it was how you made the crowd happy, you get your next people. But I only charged, imagine this, $250 for a dance.
Jeez.
And that's
probably like
way
my-
back,
yeah.
right?
That's I mean, at that time period, that's a decent chunk of change though.
Yeah.
But compared to now, that'd be like. Put it this way: if we
That'd
were
be
gonna,
almost like $1.50 now.
if we were gonna have music at our wedding, like a professional come in and do it, it was gonna cost us like $3,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Easy.
You know what I mean? So it's like that's why we're not doing
I
it.
bartended a bunch of events when I first got my license, like Smart Serve at like 18, 19.
Yeah.
And I made $400 just as an assistant to the bartender. Like I wasn't even the main bartender. And events and weddings and stuff like that. Service is like music.
Yeah.
The pricing model on that is ridiculous.
Well, you know where Highway 35 is?
Yep.
Off the 115. As you're going down Highway 35, you get to the left, there's a snowmobile club. I did a dance for them in the middle of the winter,
Okay.
right? And the guy comes up to me about 1 o'clock in the morning and says, what do you charge by the hour to stay here? I said, give me a break, $75. But I was there till 7 o'clock in the morning, nonstop, playing music. That's all. They liked it. And you couldn't get in there unless you were on a skidoo. That's how much snow there was.
Yeah.
Back
God.
then, right? And that was a lot of money for one day.
How long were you there?
I started at 6 o'clock at night, and I left at 7:30 the next morning.
You know my cottage and how like out of the way into the woods it is.
Yeah.
So my cousin Tracy had her wedding at the cottage, and we had it so that it was we literally did all the music, like the queuing up, like we had the ceremony like right in front of the lake. Like there's a deck in front of the lake, so she could like walk out from the cottage and standing, and like behind her was the lake. It was a very pretty view and everything. It was very well done. But to get like music equipment and audio equipment, like actual equipment in there, is a nightmare.
That would be a disaster.
So what we did is we had it all loaded up onto an iPhone, and I literally was like changing the songs through a truck radio. So my cousin drove his truck in, put 2 speakers on the back, and had it wired up so that like you could just like, Here Comes the Bride or whatever is playing through a phone, but it's playing through a truck that's idling with just battery power. And so then it's just going off in the distance, but it's just like as redneck as you can get. But we got speakers in the middle of the woods. Like I'm talking the middle of the woods.
Oh yeah, it's out in the boonies. It's no cell signal, nothing.
But yeah,
so
we've done weddings there before. And
See the technology,
yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
really advanced.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's like the craziest event that you ever disc jockeyed at? What would you say? Like the craziest thing you ever saw at an event, or the craziest one you worked?
Just after they had a strike at the iron workers,
Okay.
they asked me to disc jockey a party for them. They were celebrating going back to work, right? And they were actually throwing beer bottles around, breaking things. And I said to the one guy, like I said to you the time we took you for a drive, I said, see what that bottle of beer is? I said, sit on top of my speaker. That one speaker is $2,000. That's a lot of money out of your pocket. I think you take your beer bottle off that if you're smart, right? But they were really crazy because they were on strike for so long, had no money coming in, and all of a sudden they got settled, so they had a dance to celebrate. Right?
Just throwing beer balls around and
You
stuff.
don't
Yeah,
get
throw a
that beer
beer
bottle off my shit.
And the thing is, I could totally see you doing that
Jim
too.
Coles is out there hunting people down.
Just all calm. Just listen. Get your beer bottle off my shit.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's gonna be all right.
I'll only tell you once.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one time. That's how you do things. That's how to be. Well, Glenn, I appreciate you coming. I appreciate you coming and sitting down with us and having a little chat ski.
Piece of cake.
Yeah, this is what we
Miss it
do.
for the world.
He was a disc jockey. He's comfortable with a mic.
Yeah, he knows what the hell's going on. So, Adam's here. 2027's Man of the Year. It's been a very long time. Move a little closer. Come to the mic. Stay a while. Yeah, man, it's on. It's good to see you, man. It's been a minute. Douglas is walking away. Okay, that's okay. Douglas is walking away.
Yeah,
It's just me and Adam. It's good to see you, man.
that's good to see you too.
It's been a while since we've heard your sultry voice on the Hodder
And
Show.
just to check, so you can see I'm 10 or 11 years, because I was trying to do the math when I was driving here. I'm
Yeah.
like, because you guys started dating when I was in college, and I was like, okay, so I started that when I was 19, and I'm like, I know Sam was in her last year of high school.
Technically, yes.
No, I know. She
Yeah,
was
there's some
18.
technicalities,
Yeah. Sorry,
but yeah.
for legal purposes, she was 18. just to be. That's what you meant, right?
No, but that's great.
Legal purposes.
I figured that's
Oh
like.
my God. Douglas is like, I don't need to hear this.
Oh,
Oh,
no, so I
holy
was trying to
shit.
do the math.
I know what
I'm
you're
like,
saying. It'll be 11 years in February, but
Okay.
this is our 10th year together.
Yeah, 10 to 11. I'm like, because in my head, I'm like, okay, so I was either 20 or 21. And I'm like, holy shit, so it's been 10. And then I'm like, no, it's got to be over 10. And I was like, yeah. So anyways, so I just know, like, because you guys are 2 and a bit, right? For age gap?
She's 93. I'm 91.
Yeah,
So-
2 and a bit. Yeah.
The years we were born, not our age, obviously. Just to clarify that. I'm 91. She's 93.
My queen. But no, it's,
My queen. Oh, too soon. No, man, it's cool. Like when Garrett told me we were going to be doing this, I was like, what the fuck? This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I know.
2027's Man of the Year back on the Hodder Show. Do you remember the first time you met Sam? Or the first time you were around me and Sam together? I'm just curious.
Oh my! Honestly, I honestly legitimately cannot remember. Like, well, it's been forever. Anyways, like.
I mean, I think because you were in college, so you didn't meet her when everyone else met her.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to think of this earlier too. I couldn't remember when you were around her for the first time.
Like, obviously, I've met her a lot of times.
Well,
but, like,
I
I always
mean, now,
remember
yeah.
from these parties, and then I was like trying to wind back. I'm like, okay, like, do I remember seeing her at your place? And I'm like, and like even then, like I remember your shitty, like, I don't want to say passenger bed, but you know the fold out chair you had. So it was the black fold out
chair.
So it was the black. Okay, so it looked like something that would be on a lawn
Oh
chair.
my god, yes!
Yeah.
You how many times you slept in that fucking thing?
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I remember. But and too, like for gaming, I remember always like
you sitting on
that.
it was like foam, and you
Yeah,
could have it as a chair.
It was
cool. It was
yeah.
a cool little thing.
But
I missed
like
it.
I just remember like how it would fold in, and I know
Yeah.
there was a few times at your place, and then
I know a couple guys who do.
yeah.
That's funny.
But no, it's been like that's the only thing I cannot remember for the life of me. Like,
Is how long it's been and how.
well, no, I know roughly how long it's been, but like the first time I met her, I honestly cannot. Like, again, like I keep seeing like all these memories, and I'm like,
Memories like a sieve.
yeah. Well,
Do you have any advice for me? General advice, life advice, relationship advice, anything you got. Just lay some advice. You're always the person I go to whenever. So with Adam, yeah, like because you're a smart guy. So
Yeah,
like
no.
I usually run stuff by you, but I'm just
Yeah,
curious if you have any
no,
random life advice for me.
realistically, like my advice would be is keep doing what you're doing when it comes to you and Sam. You guys have been together for 2.5 years. Obviously, you guys are doing something right to being
10
together.
and a half years. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
Sorry.
You said two.
Well,
I know what you're saying. It's
sorry,
okay. I know
10
what you're saying. Just for
Okay, edit the last 20 seconds out. That's how the podcast works, right? You just put in notes to say,
Sure. I probably won't do that, but yeah. You can
edit out the previous conversation.
Full raw podcast.
the full raw. This is the thing we're doing here on the Hodder's Getting Hitched special.
Yeah.
But no, that's
No, but like the advice would be like you guys have been doing it for 10 and a half years. You can put that over the last previous stuff. 10 and a half. And then you just go on and just continue what you guys are doing, right? Continuing to hit milestones together, right? You guys have hit most adult milestones together, right?
We really have.
I mean, if you think about your first job that had meaning to you, who was there for you,
The same.
right? Well, her first time finishing post-secondary, who was she with?
Me, I guess.
Right? Her
Me,
first.
I guess.
Well, I mean,
I guess me.
right? It's like
Yeah.
so. If you look at all the milestones, right, and it's like usually the more milestones you have with someone, the stronger it would be together, right? So I would just continue to do what you're doing,
Continue
right?
doing what we're doing. I like it.
Exactly. You
I
guys
like
keep
it.
adapting to one another, right?
We
So you
do.
guys are-
We have had a lot of adapting in our lives for sure. That's very true. That's very true. It's been an interesting and fun ride.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the other advice would be, when she says one more animal, you have no say.
That's been proven. 2027's Man of the Year, Adam Lintlop, also one of my groomsmen. Adam, I love you, buddy. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I shouldn't be doing that. No one can see my hands.
He's doing a cheering thing.
But they don't know what kind of cheering. You just did the same hand motion.
Fair enough.
Very
I
distinct.
don't know how to explain it.
Yeah. Hands, grasps
Yeah, their hands are grasping. He's going back and forth, going woo,
Side to
woo.
to the head. Almost like
To
you
the
have a
head,
shake
yes.
weight, but imaginary shake weight.
And
I missed the
imaginary
shake
shape.
weight.
Around the table with
Around the
7
table
cup
with.
couplers.
Okay, so we've got fucking to my right here. We've got Douglas.
Dougler.
We got fucking Hibbsy.
Douglas,
So, baby.
What?
The brother of your future wife.
Yeah, he's my brother. I don't call him brother-in-law. I hate that shit. He's my brother.
Time to fart.
He's my brother. Yeah, we got Hibbsy. Then we got
Sorry.
and then we got Justin. And then we got Mr. Miller.
Hey, hi.
And we got fucking Craft Woody.
Yes, of Mics and Beers, ladies and gentlemen.
Shut the fuck up.
Welcome to the podcast where the mics are hot and the beers are cold.
You've already done your
man of the year.
You've already done your product placement.
That's a great question, Adam.
It's been a while.
It's been a while since I last heard you.
Hell yeah. Hold my head up high. Everyone, shut the fuck up.
Somewhere Samantha R.Q. Luxon
My
has.
dick is hard.
I like how Adam has to sit like a mile away.
Oh, he doesn't have to. He can come over here.
He's the producer.
Oh man, I'm shitting now.
Stop.
Yeah, it's a fucking pie.
We're after dark too. It seems like a few alcohol.
You drank it, then gave it
I
to
can't
me.
hear a fucking word you're saying.
No, because dickheads.
Is that one fuller than this one?
I don't know.
Him's is way too
Hey,
loud.
you guys want to see my beer? It's bigger than
There was a beer in front of
Yeah,
me at one
fuck yeah.
point, a bush, and I have no
Hey,
idea
There
whose
was
it
a beer in
was.
the center that was fresh and opened, and then I just opened another one.
That's great. Hibbs, did you like our intro?
What intro?
Exactly, because you were fucking talking, you son of a bitch. This is why Mics and Beers failed.
It's not why.
That's not why. That has nothing to do with why Mike's
What is the purpose for why you have summoned us here today?
I don't know. Woody's trying to talk. I don't know what he's saying. Woody,
He's just trying to do product placement.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, D-Generation X proudly presents to you TJ. He's gonna get married. Got a couple of alcoholic beverages. We're here to celebrate.
Are we actually doing a full thing now?
I don't fucking know.
I don't
Who cares?
fucking know either. What are we
He's
talking
talking
about? I'm fucking
It was his birthday a while ago. He's gonna get married to Douglas's sister.
about 3 hours of content on that. So yeah, 3 hours. So about I've got about 4.5 hours so far of shit. 3 hours of it is totally not going to be used for anything. But I'm still gonna.
Those are good. Those are good odds.
We gave you clips.
Yeah, it's gonna be a clip show. Every 30 seconds there'll be a new clip. There'll be 15 minutes of really nice conversation, and then there'll be like 8 clips, and there'll be like 5 minutes of nice conversation, and there'll be like 30 clips. It'll be great.
It's pretty much like hemorrhoids.
How the fuck is
How
it?
the fuck's like
Okay, here, Adam, please explain how that's
Give
hemorrhoids.
him a mic. How is it like hemorrhoids?
I mean, some days you're not gonna pop it. Other days you're gonna pop it. So I mean, in between some of these shits, you're gonna be fine. Other days it's gonna be a risk.
That was great. That was gold.
Pop it, bro.
Absolutely gold.
Marriage is a lot like hemorrhoids. Some days.
I thought you were gonna make marriage jokes there. Been like,
Yeah, no,
well,
you
Kurt
were
Cobain
saying
was
something
married
with the
to-
microphones off, so now say it. Why is this so much louder? Oh my god.
Brandon fixed it all.
Brandon fixed it. Now I got to turn this shit down. All right. Anyway, you were saying something. What are you saying?
How did you know your fiance was the one? You took too long.
That's a loaded
That's a great question.
It's not a loaded question. It's just it shouldn't have taken this long.
No, you know.
Loaded, not an
Yeah, I didn't say a bad question. No.
He should be loaded before he answers.
Why is he going red?
no, I'm good for now. Thank you though.
Yeah, no, that's from the beer. That's what
his
that's
inner
from.
Italian coming out.
Okay.
So how did you know?
I will answer this in Newfie. No, I'm just kidding. Oh.
Drank already. That's my next question.
Wait, should
Not enough.
Should we
Not
take-
enough.
That's his first one.
no,
This is
should
my
we have a
first beer.
competition to see who knows the most Sam and TJ related things?
Buddy.
With your host.
Okay. Hang on. To answer the question,
I feel like we need Vince Vaughn to host that.
Welcome to Wedding Crashers.
welcome to Wedding
No.
I know
Crashers.
his Owen Wilson.
Wow.
Welcome to TJ and Sam's Jack and Jill. We're gonna play TJ and Sam trivia. Wow.
Wow.
I think that'd be good.
You got the answer right. Wow.
No.
Wow, I'm impressed.
No, because Woody's gonna know all the dates. I'm
What
gonna
is
know the
T-
most
what is
random
TJ
stuff.
and Sam's anniversary, February.
What doesn't even know the
2012.
answer to his own question yet? So
I've been trying to answer for like 5 minutes.
we're still waiting.
I'm waiting. Make sure everyone's good.
You're not getting radio silence. You just gotta go.
What do you think this is? A professional?
No. You know how I knew? Because she put up with me
So why did you marry?
through the
Abe
good and the
Bust
through the good and the bad.
then? What does that say about
You
your
know-
father?
You know when you actually start going through some shit in life, whether it's a fight between you two that's a bad fight or something, or you start going through life events together, and it's how you handle them together. It's how good of a team you are. That's really truly, aside from yes, they're awesome, and yes, they make you laugh and you feel great around them and all that fun stuff. That's all well and good, but it's when you actually start going through shit together. That's when you know. How do you respond to that together?
I saw that sneaky marker go up.
There's gonna be a lot of these.
Start it for a second.
Start what?
Start the recording for a second.
It's already recording, bro. What are you talking about?
You just stopped it. Yes.
No, I didn't. I'm marking it. So I can go back and listen to this and then be like, Jesus Christ, delete.
46 seconds ago.
Let's say hello. No, okay. So a general question for you is, what's your advice for the father?
Thank you.
What's your advice to TJ
This group of friends can, like,
to
use
dating
their
your
talking
to
stick well.
marrying your daughter?
But Garrett can't figure out he needs a microphone in front of him to say something.
To be honest,
on the podcast.
never hold nothing back. You got something to say it.
Yeah. No matter how bad the farts are.
Yeah.
If he's honest, he'll understand. But if he tries to hold something back, he'll know right away.
Very good advice. That's something that she does extremely well.
So, wedding gift, knee pads. Gotcha.
I need knee pads and a.
Terry's got that covered.
I got knee
We've been
pads.
talking
Yeah,
about
we've
knee
talked
pads.
about this before.
We've
Fucking knee
approached
pads.
this. Everyone's getting knee pads for Christmas.
Fucking
Everyone.
knee pads, boys.
Brandon, knee pads. TJ, knee pads. Douglas, knee pads. Woody, knee pads. Adam,
knee pads.
dignities.
I'll get you one of those
Elbow
foam
pads.
things you sit on or you lay on. Kneeling pad. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Fucking kneeling pads.
Yeah. But no, I felt so because my only like workplace injury I've ever technically I actually had to switch from a normal mouse to a vertical mouse because all of a sudden my hand would just like get like stiff up. I'm like, oh my god, it's just a computer.
Oh,
I'm
that's
like,
real.
I know.
That's a real thing.
So I actually had to do a vertical mouse and I'm like, oh my god, there's no pain. But then I'm like, but people are doing like hard day
Your
labor.
muscles' natural tension is like this.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, you're gonna go to someone been like,
Oh
Yeah,
my
Woody,
God,
you're the
shut your
play-by-play.
goddamn
Jesus
mouth
Christ,
for
come
30
on.
seconds.
but you have someone like working like a hard job like Terry, and it's like really a mouse. Like you had to like stop like an hour of work.
I mean, you know.
Terry's like, you're bitching about your wrist. He's like, my back's been gone for years.
Yeah, my back and knees and elbows.
Hibbsy, you said you got something for me.
Yeah. All right. So I was working with this old guy. This guy would smoke 2 packs of darts a day on the night shift. It was a 12-hour shift. He'd smoke 2 packs of darts a day, and he always told me, I'm going to try to see if I can get his voice right. all right there, kid. Now, you take this with you for as long as you can. Now, I live by this. Don't let the smell fool you. Just remember what you're doing.
That's good advice.
That's it. That's all I'd ever told him. You sit there and then right after that, he'd go, how's your mama?
How's your mom?
Always asking what mom's doing.
I love that. That's fantastic. I appreciate that. I like that. That's good.
Thing you hate about TJ?
Get on the mic there.
Yeah,
Douglas.
get
Let's do it.
Oh, it's no, you can't.
Let's
It's
do it.
easy.
Come on.
This is
You've
easy.
lived with me for a week. There's got to be something.
It's pure laziness.
Is it the gas?
So Sam,
Oh man, like
you didn't see this guy like Sam brings over a guy. It turns out to be him. It's like, oh yeah, liked him from the start.
yeah.
Why?
We got along. I'm a nice guy.
We pretty much
You
I know
hate
it's hard
me.
to believe.
You
but
used to hurt me. You put down our podcast. You quit on us.
like TJ said earlier, like if we were all the same age, went to high school together, we'd probably be in friends group.
he
'Cause
literally would have
we're
been
literally
a part of the group for sure.
the same.
We're very.
thing.
Sam is miserable.
Oh yeah.
Just because what I love about Douglas is he understands that when I start going, you have 2 options.
Yeah.
You can either just not accept it and just let me shut myself down, or you just start throwing fucking gasoline on the fire.
And mostly we just throw gas on you.
He throws gas on the fire.
Yeah.
Throw some damn
That's what I
TNT.
love
That,
Yeah. Now we all agreed that we've played some really fun games back in the day. Crash Bandicoot Racing,
Great game.
Mario Kart, all those fun stuff. I would argue that Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge might be one of the best games of all time.
See, now I missed all that.
Did you not do online at all?
I sure fucking did, just not Tinder.
Oh, not the phone
I met
stuff.
Sam online
Yeah,
for
'cause
Christ's
I did
sake.
Hold on. A whole different era.
Yeah, we
I
were-
was,
before,
yeah,
'cause we
I
were the
was.
computer guys. Like I did plenty of fish
He did,
before.
you did tagged, which wasn't even
I
really
did
a
tag
game.
Plenty of Fish.
Yeah. All you
Yeah,
Tag
other
was more
weird
of a
one.
social media site, though.
Yeah, but that's how Sam and I met.
No,
We
I'm
literally
saying
met
as
on
a
tag.
dating site,
That's
I'm saying-
how Brennan
tagged?
met most of his.
Like
friends.
Oh, it was
MySpace.
this old website, like in the MySpace era, where it was basically like a cheap ripoff of MySpace.
Like a shitty Facebook.
But there was some
Like
stuff.
a
Did you like put like your music and stuff on there?
Yeah, you could.
Good stuff.
Yeah, you could. Well,
Okay,
that's-
MySpace was
It was
badass.
like
It
a
was so
Pixo
good.
site.
That guy had one of the best videos of all time on YouTube. Literally coming back after said I went away to college, went away for years, and then came back saying, hey, thank you to everybody who still believed in me. Like, I'm done my college.
This is the guy from Blue's Clues?
Yeah.
He went to college after Blue's Clues?
Yeah.
Wow. What's your prior experience? Animated dog friend.
Are you gonna literally make fun of his resume? The guy who made millions compared to what
I can draw rudimentary pictures on a notebook.
I know my primary colors.
I don't.
I drew a house on this obnoxiously big notepad with giant rings.
Wouldn't fucking care. I'll go take his job. Go make
Hated
money.
that notepad he had. It was
Why?
obnoxious. It was too big. It was unproportional to each other.
Do you know
the
who
rings are like the size of like you know those like prostitutes who wear those big hoop earrings?
Yeah.
Like the size. The
ratchet
rings,
hoe.
Yeah. So the rings on this freaking notebook are the size of those earrings.
You're
and
the
he's
guy who must have liked Caillou.
Let's draw something today, and he flips over the giant fucking page and he starts drawing a fucking house with a big
He's
black
using
crayon.
his fence.
You got some marriage advice for me?
Oh man, do I ever? I mean, I haven't thought of anything, so this is going to be off the cuff. Man, where do I even begin?
Run.
Somewhere.
Somewhere, yes, that's a great point. The best thing is you just lock yourself in for the rest of your life.
room?
With that person, Sam Light.
It's
Well,
like
yeah.
it's like a mortgage.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it.
Exactly, that's the whole point. And
Disagree.
and you will not feel any different the next day.
Oh, I know that. Yeah.
After the ceremony, you won't feel any different. You've already been lit.
Every 5 years, it's gonna hit a rough.
Hey, we're trying to have some actual fucking content here. So shut the fuck up for 5 seconds.
To put 8 fucking guys on a mic. Yeah, no, we'll get real great content.
Miller, please continue.
Best advice still was hemorrhoids. Best advice.
That's
the closest thing.
Not going to feel any different. Continue.
Nothing's going to change for you. It's all going to be great. It's all going to be the same.
Fuck off, it's gonna be the same. Even you said in your first.
I don't know what you're expecting, TJ.
I'm not expecting anything.
It's gonna be different.
Nothing's gonna change. It's gonna be
Annie and I
the
have
exact
been dating
same.
for 9 years before we got married. We'd be living together for at least 5 of those.
But you never
Holy
felt so like
shit.
even like for me and Catherine, like I felt the difference was just a week, but it was when we could legit say husband and wife. That feeling was definitely different. It lasted for a little bit, and then it went back to the same. But there was still a change.
Sure, the calling her my
well, you're right.
calling her my wife was certainly different. It was like calling myself a dad was fucking weird.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yep.
This is
Okay,
true.
it's the same. It's just a new title. Okay,
And that's
like
a
if you're
change.
going to call yourself 24/7 champion,
Still am.
but when you first called yourself that, was it weird?
No, because I knew I was a champion.
I remember my first time at the cottage when I was 24/7 7-Eleven.
I-94 European television champion.
That was the greatest feeling ever.
It's cool.
Until TJ drop kicked me off the back of the pontoon boat.
This checks out.
It was a great feeling though.
Yeah, that happened.
This group, we've done a lot of stupid wrestling things. I don't care if you hate wrestling or not. It's real. It hurts.
And now you're a cripple.
But I
My
agree with
back
that.
is
That's good.
bad. Upstairs,
It's just
we-
like holding
we
a
lost
title for
nothing's
the.
gonna-
nothing's gonna change.
It's all the same, but the fact that you now have that title.
So far,
And you run with it.
So far, I've been told I have no advice, and then I was told
Knee pads.
knee pads as well, and then I was told to never hold anything back and always be brutally honest.
Yep.
And then I was also told. What else was I fucking told? What did you say earlier?
Don't let the smell fool you. Just remember what you're doing.
That's some good advice too.
We can go back to the first 20 minutes of what I told you. 'Cause I actually kind of gave you some.
Yeah, you had something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had something.
Because I don't think you're ever going to hear the same. I think you can get marriage advice from 10 people, and it'll probably be different to some extent.
A lot of the advice that Sam got at her bridal shower, not bachelor, bridal shower. A lot of it was the same. Don't go to bed angry.
Do you want a piece of advice from someone that's not in this?
Sure,
Ooh,
lay it on
single
me.
advice. Ooh.
Lay it on me. Ooh, single advice. Lay it on me.
This is why I stayed out of it.
No,
No,
because
you're not
I think
single.
you can back me up on this because you
Put a microphone in your mouth. Come on. There's like 4 microphones here. Let's go.
Give
Ooh,
two
2.
mics at once.
Yeah,
Speak up.
yeah, because I need more than 2 things in my face, like you.
Haha.
He just needs one big solid
Funny.
black one.
Don't treat your relationship like you can fix it the same way other people have fixed things with theirs. You and Sam will find your way for how you and Sam's marriage will solve things. Just because her parents solved things a certain way, or how Ryan and Catherine. But I'm saying is you two will find your way for how you approach everything. Don't try and judge it based off how other people's relationships solve.
That's very good advice. We already found it, but that's good advice. Anyway,
I just like to say,
There's a bar for witty tolerance.
Garrett had some really good advice, and that's not to listen to other people's really shitty relationship advice.
yeah.
Stop.
I learned that a lot. You know how many people told me not to get fucking married? A lot.
Don't judge your relationship off of others.
Yeah, it's good advice. Yeah.
I know I look like the standard TJ, but just don't.
No, just don't.
Use the gold standard.
Yeah.
Gold standard.
I barely
Get
wear
yourself
this.
Digging up them holes, dig it. I'm just digging a hole.
That's why he's the champ.
That's why I'm the champ.
Yeah.
Since I don't,
six
that's
packs.
all that was at the convenience store, didn't you?
They're
Just
annoying.
blood.
That and like other garbage.
You can help
What was the
yourself
other
to-
garbage? MGD?
Everything.
Help yourself to a good
This is still
old-fashioned
garbage,
bush.
but it was the only garbage I could
Bush
stomach.
latte.
Hi,
Stuff in the
I'm DJ Hodder. And if you want a
know, but I didn't
refreshing
wanna-
ice cold beverage,
So
consider
Ford business.
Bush.
I'm sure you do. This isn't his.
God, it sounds majestic through a mic.
Rantle.
From Long and
Hi, I'm DJ Hodder.
No, the
And if you want to crush a beer can,
As Scotty Duquette would
consider
say, McQuaid's.
crushing it between your thighs,
but
like so.
Fuck
No,
off.
he's not vegan. No.
He's not even a person.
He's a vegetarian. He's a piece of shit. He's not that bad.
Remember, kids, thick thighs
I'm okay
save
with
lives.
vegetarian. Vegan though?
Remember how I almost won line of the year this year so far?
No.
No one remembers, eh?
No.
Fuck me running.
So
All
it
right.
must not be in line of the year.
So, I believe it was Woody was in the water doing something. He's being Woody, just having some fun.
Something stupid.
Couldn't swim.
And someone said just ignore. Oh, sorry. He was on land yelling at us
Sounds right,
about
too.
something, and I think it was Catherine who said, "Oh, just ignore him until he comes." And so I said, "Yeah, that's Sam's approach too." And people thought it was quite funny. Anyway, so Jesus is great.
Speaking of hogs, hips.
Ah, shit.
I love pogs.
So funny enough, I got pogs in my car.
Oh, you said
now?
I thought you said hogs. I thought you were talking about a big.
I didn't know.
I originally said hogs, and he
Oh,
said
okay.
hogs.
Okay,
thought he
it is
said
exactly what I
pogs.
heard.
And I have a box of hogs in my
Did he say
car.
hogs? Oh, fuck, I thought he said
I think I got
pogs.
my old slammer in there too.
I was gonna say, let's slam him right now. Good thing you didn't say that,
I'll
hey?
get the pogs out. We'll have fun.
Fucking,
Why are we
let's
slamming
go
hogs?
slam your hogs.
Are we
Taking
slamming
out the
Woody's
trash,
hog?
boys.
Let's go take out the trash.
Fuck.
Jesus, fuck.
Oh, what a terrible game of fucking telephone. That was bad.
Call the strippers. We gotta play some
Christ.
balls.
Oh no.
hey, we still have a
Did I show you what we? It was last Christmas. Did I ever show you what we did for him? The magazine cover?
No.
Oh, I don't. Do you have a picture of it? I don't have a picture of it anymore. It was technically my idea, but then Sam came in and collaborated on it. It's one of the best ideas I've ever come up with. It's fucking great. He's got a picture of it. Diet Pepsi aficionado. That was great. That's
Friggin' hilarious.
It looks so real.
Yeah, I got my guy. My graphics guy did it.
10 reasons why you should be drinking Diet Pepsi.
It was me right away.
So what's better, room temperature or fridge?
Room versus fridge, what temperature is the best?
So once I came up with that initial
Exclusive
idea,
interview.
me and Sam sat there like, all right, what would the articles be? And Sam came up with the room temperature of fridge. I was like, get the fuck out of here. That's great. Yeah.
Last time I got my blood taken, I was genuinely surprised it wasn't Diet Pepsi.
That was an actual quote. I remember he said that once. I remember because that was not. I remember this was years ago. I don't remember who you were talking to, but they said, "Oh, I think you had like just gone for a blood test, something." I don't remember what the context was. Oh, how'd it go there, Terry? And he said, "Oh yeah, when they took my blood the other day, I was surprised it didn't come out brown." And like, it popped in my head, and I was like, "But I can't." It came out brown because I'm like, "There's no context of that." So I was like, "It's got to be Diet Pepsi." But yeah, I thought that was fucking hilarious. And then when I hit up Jason, I was like, "Hey man, so here's the idea," and he was like, "I'm in." He was like, "I will make this happen." I was like, "All right." So good.
Okay, America units. Okay.
America! Units!
42 inch.
Fuck yeah!
Dealing with the
Lick my ass and suck on my balls!
Aren't you guys still in the heated N64 battle?
No, we're on the same page because Luigi fucked us up.
Is it Super Smash Bros?
Damn it, Luigi.
I don't know.
Motherfucker.
Is it Super Smash Bros?
No, Mario Party. We tried to see who was going to win the most. A computer ended up beating us on the tiebreaker, so now we don't
Super
have
extra extra hard mode, I imagine.
Well, no, the game's done. All the maps are officially done. So we ended as me and him as a tie with Luigi.
Mario
no,
Party
Luigi had 2 wins. It was
Your opponent as a computer was Luigi?
Yeah.
That is the worst one you could possibly pick.
Yeah.
Couldn't have picked anybody else.
No, it was random.
Fucking Luigi's the worst. That guy's the hardest guy to play against.
Must have been 2.
We've done 2, 6. I can't remember.
Mario Party 4, I imagine. 4. Number 4 was on there.
Oh, it's fantastic.
1, 2, 4, and 5. I thought.
4. 4 has got to be on there because 4 is fucking a weapon. I think 4 is the one with the train, isn't it? Train that fucking bowls you over.
No, that's number 2, where you dress up as the old Western guys.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
2's my favorite.
Yeah, because that was awesome. You could actually do dressed up.
Yeah.
It was a novel thing.
It was
They
good
fucked
shit.
all up.
I remember like we would go over because we were a PlayStation household.
Mm-hmm.
And, like TJ had the N64. There's always that one controller where the thumbstick got so worn. And, like,
So
a slight
fun.
tilt to it, like,
Well, fucking half the games. Do you remember all the times you burned a fucking hole into the palm of your hand
Mario Party 1.
from sitting there
Yeah, I
going
was
like
gonna say,
this?
Nintendo got in big shit about that. They
Holy
released little gloves once in a while.
Good
Yeah.
God.
Okay, to be fair though, N64 always comes out with controllers with issues. Like they still haven't fixed their issue with the
Switch controllers.
Switch, as
Yeah.
far as I know.
Yeah, the drifting.
mine.
If you submit it,
The GameCube was perfectly fine. To this point, they still use
Yeah,
that.
the GameCube was good.
I used
Yeah.
the GameCube one, but I thought there was.
Yeah.
I thought there was
if you claim it,
I don't know.
okay,
Maybe
I
it's
have to
because
teach you how to do
at,
this. They'll
um,
be like, okay, send it to us.
I was
Send
with
it
a
to
lot
them,
of raging
do some
gamers
stuff,
who
and if they can't
like to
fix it,
smash
they just send it
controllers.
Yeah.
brand new.
Wow.
Classic. Yeah.
Fantastic.
With that?
It's the usual.
Yeah, TJ,
Yeah.
we had a bunch of smashing controllers in our group. Did we not?
Smashing controllers.
Like Dundas, I know
can't believe they haven't
he
fixed that.
smashed a few controllers.
Oh, fuck yeah, so did I.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm like,
You had a lot of rage.
Oh, I've snapped a couple.
no,
Take your pick.
You broke a few on Def Jam.
Def Jam, Fight for New York made me punch a hole through my wall. I'm being totally serious.
I believe it. That's why I'm like.
See, I've always ever just done like the fucking snap. I'm like,
Really?
fuck. I've done 2.
You guys must be rich, because I could not smash one of my controllers.
Oh, I
'cause
couldn't
can't
I couldn't
pay for
replace
that
it.
yeah,
No, yeah, you just live with it.
yeah. Whenever you had friends, you're like,
I've won
I got no controllers left. Sorry, man.
the PlayStation 2 controllers, the bumpers on the back, the R1 and the R2 buttons. I used to have one that one of the buttons would get stuck.
Yeah.
What were you doing?
The R1 button would get stuck.
I wish we had Super Smash Brothers now or something.
Oh,
to ruin-
fucking right.
Or Mario Kart, just something to ruin all
Super
our
Smash
fights.
64, all about it.
okay, this is for all of us. What's your favorite game that you played in like multiplayer?
Smash. Super Smash Brothers.
Super Smash Brothers.
What, like online multiplayer or just multiplayer?
With like friends, like actual friends.
Like sitting around on the same TV.
Nothing spoils friendship.
Nothing
like Mario
online.
Kart.
You could say
Before online.
Blue Shell
We'll
will do
say
that.
before online.
Okay.
Mario Kart fucks people's friendships for days.
Mario Kart is a good one. And Mario Party is Mario. Oh, fuck, dude. That thing would end relationships, stealing a star from somebody in Mario Party.
Yeah.
That's a tough question. That is a good question.
Yeah, it did.
Actually,
Happened to me.
So I never. Really
It
had
ended
an
a relationship?
Xbox. Do you remember my birthday?
Yeah,
with
my first
cousin
girlfriend.
Bruce?
No, I'm kidding.
Do you remember my birthday? I was like 13.
dumb bitch.
Halo 2 just came out, and my cousin Bruce bought his Xbox, and Justin, I think you were there as well. And we played Halo 2 split screen on the big TV. I think it was you, Justin, I think Brian.
I'll take your word for it.
Well,
I don't
anyway,
remember.
but like, just like that, having that like shooter, like the first time shooters were like you could do like 4-person shooters. Thanks,
I'm sorry, we fucking boring you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you are.
Yeah, he's going on fucking TikTok.
Well, just someone popped up saying, hey, this person hasn't posted in a little bit, so I want to fucking know what's going on.
But for like shooters, when like you could do 4 people to a TV screen for shooters, like GoldenEye was like the first time you could really do that.
Yeah, GoldenEye. I remember Medal of Honor Frontline. I played.
Yeah.
Oh man, you could be
Fuck
old
yeah.
when you played it four-way screen, and you could be old granny and old grandpa. That was the best.
Was it?
Rocket launchers only.
Hey, Garrett,
Yeah.
we got any fucking coffee left?
Yeah, but Fuck. I got a whole pot.
Well, we got coffee rocking.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm down.
Fresh pot.
No,
He's fading. He's fading.
drinking coffee so I can
Yeah.
continue.
He's fading.
Mark the podcast. We're done.
That's okay. Make good pot. I'm in.
No, I still say.
I can
Yeah,
use
I'll
coffee
drink
I
reboot.
think the top two. I gotta say, Medal of Honor was up there because I remember playing with it was you, me, and Dundas. I can't remember who.
Oh, fucking dirty.
Where's Donnie?
Ugh.
Thunder Mifflin.
Thunder fucking.
But no, because
Dunder
at that
Chief.
game, we would play crazy like that. The fucking sniper, and you're like, you try not to look at their screen, but you're like,
Yeah.
where's he fucking?
Yeah, screen peeking. That was huge.
No,
Yeah.
honestly, that's why my favorite, because it was one of the earlier ones, was Day of Reckoning. We'd play
that fucking game.
So the reason it was so brutal was the interactions compared to older wrestling games. Anything you did would impact the other person. So we'd fucking like all of a sudden you're like German suplex. I'm on the ladder. Why does that actually hit me? How am I out of the fucking ring? Day of Reckoning.
Yeah, Day of Reckoning was awesome and rage quitting.
No, so honestly, that was one of the first ones that like I played the N64 ones like Smash Brothers, but it was definitely the GameCube more so that I played with people that.
Yeah, I feel like GameCube was one of the ones that people played multiplayer on more.
Game I played that actually TJ raged at me. I'll wait until he comes out.
Oh, there it is.
God, that
You
was
said N64. I'm trying
gorgeous.
To think, like, besides multiplayer, Banjo-Kazooie used to piss me off for single
Oh
player.
my
That
lord.
God, I love that game.
fantastic. Hard.
1 and 2.
Well,
2. The sequel was better.
You know what I want? I want a gaming computer so I can do the randomizers. They have Banjo-Kazooie randomizer where they switch item placements, enemy placements, size, speed, and power. Mario 64, where they change all the star locations, whatever picture you jump into, that might not be the same world you're going into.
Wow.
I want to do those randomized. Saw them on Rooster Teeth, like Achievement Hunter.
Yeah.
I would love to do those.
I don't watch them since they
My
went
mom
woke.
wants to know.
I want to try that.
They're still like
me
I
a-
love that they brought in.
I want to try. I need to try this.
Oh,
Fantastic.
that's fine. I don't care about the diversity of it.
No,
Okay.
but I mean, I like the upgraded cast, but it's really weird nowadays. Like
The scent smells like all dress.
Yeah.
They're talking.
All right, this is live on the fucking podcast here.
Okay.
Me and Himsy are gonna try one of these.
We got Ruffles KFC original recipe chicken. chip.
Clank.
And here we go.
Left the company, and it's like, holy fuck! It is weird seeing certain guys.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, definitely different from back in the good old.
KFC recipe.
it tastes
chicken.
Awful. Oh god.
It's a lot. All right, folks, there you have it. Hodder's getting hitched. Just a seriously fun time. Hope that you guys enjoyed what was definitely a very different episode of the show. Lots of great fun clips with good times with friends and things of that nature. Definitely a blast to go back through and listen to, as well as some rather tender moments as well that were captured on the audio in the background. And also I think one of my favorite parts about some of those clips is the stuff going on in the background was just, again, ridiculous debauchery happening as this podcast was being recorded, and it was just so much fun. So thank you very much for listening in. I hope that you had a great time. If you did, be sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a like, comment, leave a rating if you can. 5-star ratings help this show grow. Be sure to follow the Hodder Show on social media. We have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, even though I don't use Twitter all that much. And if you would like to get in contact with the Hodder Show for any reason, you can do so by checking me out, thehoddershow@gmail.com. We also have a Discord. If you'd like to join the Discord, hit me up and I'll send you a link ski. And if you would like to support the Hodder Show a little more, consider joining the Hodder Show Patreon. That's right, the Hodder Show has a Patreon. And we have a lot of fun over there. There is exclusive content like the Tapes of Trepidation podcast, which is an exclusive horror narration podcast that I do and have way too much fun with. That is for my $5 and above patrons. But we also have a $1 tier. And joining that $1 tier will get you a shout out at the end of every single episode of The Hodder Show, as well as behind the scenes stuff, access to the exclusive channels on Discord, all the stuff I plan on going full tilt into in the next coming weeks. So I cannot wait to jump into all of that. But I mentioned shout outs. And I, of course, would be remiss if I didn't take a second here today to give a shout out to my wonderful patrons, my hotheads. We have first and foremost, the OG, my buddy, Scott Duquette. Scott, you know I love you, buddy. Thanks so much for everything. And Scott's actually going to be at my wedding, so that's going to be a great time. The Grey Rooms podcast, what can I say? I'm a proud member of the Grey Rooms Productions Network, and the Grey Rooms has done so much for me, and they are continue to be a patron to this day. They're my favorite horror anthology podcast. What can I say about them I haven't said? Best podcast out there. Go check them out. They deserve your support. Ronan Kumori. Ronan, come on, brother. You know how much I appreciate you. Thank you so very much for being a patron and being such a big supporter of me and of this podcast. Wolf Delta Pi. You know how much I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so very much for all of the support. Eric Phones, who was actually featured on the most recent edition of the Tapes of Trepidation as one of the voice actors. And he absolutely killed it. Eric, thanks so much for everything, brother. I appreciate you so very much. Head writer of the Grey Rooms podcast, Arthur Unk. Arthur, I mean, come on. I appreciate the hell out of you, man. Thank you so much. And of course, last but not least, Mike Quintero from Mike's Mystery Mansion, a fantastic horror narration podcast. Mike, thanks so much for all the support, brother. I appreciate you so very much. Just like I appreciate you for listening and still listening. I know this was a very interesting and unique episode, and if you listen to this, especially all the way through, that means that you either have a really vested interest in my life for whatever reason, and you wanted to hear this, or you're just looking for some interesting entertainment and you wanted to support. Either way, thank you so very much. It seriously means the world to me. I'm beyond excited to be marrying my soulmate and my best friend in literally 4 days. I am starting to get nervous, but it's going to be literally like the best day of my life. So I cannot wait. Next week, I may not have a new episode. We will kind of have to play it by ear. I'm giving you all a heads up right now. There may not be a new episode next week just because, obviously I'm getting married. So that takes precedent. But I wanted to get this out to you guys. So there was something for this week. And because I had such a blast editing this and all that, I wanted to get it out to you guys before the wedding. Hodder's getting hitched. It's just amazing. And I can't wait to officially be married. Next time I say this microphone, I'll have a ring on my finger. And that's a crazy, crazy thought. It's been 10 years in the making. The whole time I've been doing this podcast, I've been with Sam. The majority of the time I've been doing this podcast, I've been engaged to Sam, which is wild. And she's such a huge supporter of all these fun things that I do as hobbies and a huge supporter of this podcast. And yeah, baby, if for some reason you hear this, I love you and I cannot wait to be your husband and for you to be my wife. I love you. And if you're not Sam, I hope that you enjoyed that little glimpse into our relationship. Thank you so very much for listening. You're seriously the best. And I will catch you next time on The Hodder Show. Take it easy, guys.